Imagine this, only 2 players remain, you and the enemy. You're huddled behind a rock, trying not to get shot as death closes in. So, are you playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds or Fortnite Battle Royale? Hi, I'm Jim Basco with the Leaderboard, and we're here to check out Fortnite versus PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad today. With so many similarities between PUBG and Fortnite, we decided to go way back to the game's development to discuss their differences. PUBG is Fortnite's scrappy but addictive cousin, and its development history is just as cobbled together as its pre-release graphics. Before PUBG, there was Arma 2, a game designed by Bohemia Interactive. It's a tactical shooter that focuses on large maps and realistic gameplay. Arma 2 was released in 2009 to some success. This changed in 2012 when game designer Dean Hall released a mod for Arma 2. The mod would shoot Arma 2 up the charts on Steam. That mod was DayZ. In DayZ, a player is dropped into a giant map without any supplies and must survive dehydration, zombies, and scariest of all, other players. But how does this relate to the 2 games we're discussing today? Believe it or not, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds started out as a mod for DayZ. That's right, PUBG's a mod of a mod. PUBG also drew inspiration from another DayZ mod, Survivor Games, a team-based game where you fight until your team is the last one standing. Survivor Games' thirst and hunger mechanics differentiate it from PUBG. Brendan Green, also known as PlayerUnknown, wanted to create a game that combined aspects of DayZ with a movie he loved watching growing up, Battle Royale. For those who don't know, Battle Royale is a Japanese film where a class of high school students find themselves on an island, forced to fight to the death to be the last one standing. And that's how Green's mod, Battle Royale, was born. While the mod did well, it wasn't until the release of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that Green's brainchild became one of the hottest games of the year. PUBG was released in early access on March 23rd, 2017, exclusively for the PC. The game dominated the charts all throughout the year, and it took down heavy competition with it. This is especially impressive as the game launched as a PC exclusive. PUBG was on top of the world until Fortnite came along. While PUBG took a meandering path to success, Fortnite came up with the support of Epic Games, the developers of Gears of War series and the Unreal Tournament series. Epic Games also created the Unreal Engine, the engine behind BioShock Infinite, Injustice 2, Rocket League, Kingdom Hearts 3, Fortnite, and that's right, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PUBG, the game that people claim Fortnite ripped off, uses an engine built by Fortnite's developers. Fortnite was developed as a free-to-play game. However, when Fortnite was first released as an early access game, players had to pay for the Founders Edition of the game to get access. The early access sandbox survival game was released on July 25th, 2017 for PC, Mac, PS4, and Xbox One. Fortnite enjoyed some success, but it got a lot of attention 2 months later when Epic Games released a new multiplayer game mode for Fortnite, Battle Royale. While Epic Games has said that it's only inspired by other Battle Royale games, fans of PUBG noticed many similarities, and it wasn't just fans who took notice. Bluehole, the company that developed PUBG, was worried about the new Fortnite game mode as they were working with Epic Games' Unreal Engine to power their own game. They were concerned that Epic Games could refuse to let them use their popular engine. Happily, it looks like the 2 games can coexist, even if their more rabid fans can't. The similarities between these 2 games are fairly obvious and were the source of plenty of outrage among PUBG devotees. Both games start with 100 players being dropped onto an island. In PUBG, they're dropped from an airplane, and in Fortnite, it's an air bus, a bus with a big balloon attached to it. The goal in each game is to be the last person alive, either by going on a killing spree or playing out your own personal stealth mission. Some would argue that's where the similarities end. One of the first major differences between PUBG and Fortnite is how you can play them. PUBG was exclusive to PC, and Fortnite was playable on computers and consoles. While this wasn't a huge deal at first, when Fortnite released their Battle Royale mode, they released something that console players had wanted for months, a playable Battle Royale game. And on top of that, it was free. At E3 in 2017, PUBG announced it was coming to consoles, exclusively to the Xbox. PUBG was the biggest game on PCs. It dethroned Dota 2 as the most played Steam game, and not many games can claim that honor. So it was huge news that the popular game was coming to Xbox, and it was even bigger news when Fortnite beat them to the punch in July of 2017. So now that both games are available on consoles, what else sets the games apart? With 2 very similar games, differences are key, and often it just comes down to a matter of preference. Some players prefer PUBG's realistic design to Fortnite's more cartoony and stylized look. In PUBG, players have to deal with bullet drop and other more realistic shooting tactics. Guns can be customized for better shooting, less recoil, improved accuracy, and more. This complicated shooting mechanic favors more skilled players and definitely adds to the tension at the beginning of the game. Fortnite's shooting mechanics, on the other hand, are less realistic and more arcade arcade-like and are easier for less skilled gamers to pick up. Guns spawn with randomly generated stats, so that adds another aspect of chance that can help less skilled gamers squeak by. Relatedly, looting in PUBG is a risky endeavor. Unlike Fortnite, players can't auto pick up loot, they have to find and open crates. And while loot in Fortnite glows, making it easier for players to track down, in PUBG, players are left to search every corner of the map for loot. In general, Fortnite is a little more forgiving than PUBG's grindfest. Speaking of maps, PUBG's map is much larger than Fortnite Battle Royale. The larger map in PUBG is great for stealth players, while Fortnite's smaller map ensures that you'll be meeting an enemy every few minutes whether you want to or not. To help players navigate the large map, PUBG has vehicles for players to choose from. These vehicles are especially useful when the map is shrinking. At present, there's no dune buggies in Fortnite, but here's to hoping that we'll get a chance to drive the Airbus someday. While we're listing major differences, we have to mention that PUBG allows first or third person shooting and Fortnite only has a third person mode. And of course, the lucky survivor of a PUBG match is celebrated with that meme-worthy phrase, winner winner, chicken dinner. Fortnite players might miss out on that succulent chicken, but they do enjoy one major ability that PUBG users lack: building. Taken from Fortnite's original single-player and co-op game mode, players can craft and build cover or buildings. Bringing the build feature to Battle Royale mode represents a major change in players' approach to the game. It also introduces a destructibility element that's really missing in PUBG. In PUBG, when someone goes inside a building, you have to get to them through the door or the window. But in Fortnite, if the last remaining target is inside a house, you can just knock down the wall. The building aspect in Fortnite also helps ensure that players aren't caught defenseless. In PUBG, if a player is running through a field and they start to get shot at, their best chance at survival is finding a rock or a tree. But in Fortnite, players can create their own cover. So basically, PUBG is a tension-filled war of attrition, where strong players can spend half the game holed up in a building, hoping that no one finds them, while Fortnite's a little faster paced, shoot 'em up with a crafting component and a generally more forgiving gameplay style. Both games have their strengths and weaknesses, so it's really all about finding the game that best suits your preferences. So this brings us back to the question of whether or not Fortnite Battle Royale ripped off PUBG. The game seemed designed to appeal to two different types of gamers, with gamers who prefer an intense, realistic match reaching for PUBG, and gamers who prefer a faster paced, guns a-blazing style choosing Fortnite Battle Royale. With PUBG's origin as a mod of a mod, it seems fitting that the game would inspire other King of the Hill games. We're just glad that both of these games exist, and they're still evolving. PUBG added a feature that allows players to vault through windows, drastically changing some players' strategies in the game. And who knew that zombies would be making an appearance in PUBG? We're sure that the coming year has a lot in store for both PUBG and Fortnite Battle Royale. I'm Jim Basco, and this has been Fortnite Battle Royale vs PUBG. Thanks for watching the leaderboard. Did we miss anything? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad today, and if you like getting more from your games, subscribe to the leaderboard, your home for video game facts.